Ah! I forgot to put my headset on. I wasn't even ready. I didn't even realize it was done. What's going on?
I thought
GM.
you were naked with that reaction.
Oh, you don't know what's on the lower half.
Shower, so jeez.
Yeah, just a quick shower during the 5-minute countdown. Just jump in there. Going. GM. What is going on, FMC? What is happening? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. I am watching the Phantom Network Mint. The public is May 4th. The allow list is May 5th. I believe it's a Dutch auction. The Kaiju Kings got me hyped about this. I'm trying to figure out how to approach it.
Phantom Network.
Phantom Network, that's the one.
Well, I've seen lots of people talking about that one.
Yes.
We'll have to bring that up.
Maybe,
maybe tomorrow would be a good day for that.
Crying about moonbirds, and we said, just look forward to the next one. Look forward to the next one because there's always another one. And look,
always
the network. You should have been figuring out claw and tooth how to get onto that allow list.
I heard that was a grind. Am I right about that?
No idea.
Working
what
it.
was really cool, and I loved this, and I know a lot of projects are starting to do this now, but Kaiju set up a website specifically to give away allow list spots to Phantom, and you were able to burn R-Waste for your chance. So 10 R-Waste, or what was it, 10? Or was it 1? I forget. I think it was 10 R-Waste per ticket.
Okay, yep.
Or maybe, I forget how many R-Waste. Oh,
that's okay.
It was 1 R-Waste per ticket for Kaiju King holders and 2 R-Waste per ticket for non-holders. So even if you weren't a holder, you could go buy R-Waste off of Uniswap or Sushi and enter this raffle. I didn't win, but it was, I thought, very cool. Especially, I don't know if the site is still up. I wish I could show you the animation. Let me see if the site is still up.
Yeah, I've often thought that raffles with a slight burn are something that's underutilized in this. However, I guess it kind of becomes tricky because then I guess you're sort of running a lottery. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there are prohibitive regulations depending on where you are about doing that. But I do think,
yeah, I don't know. Wait, you gotta throw a wet blanket. No, check out what I
but you know what I mean.
Check out what I DM'd you in the Discord. Put that up on the screen. Look at how cool this was as an experience.
Yes, Dad. Let me pull this up here. There it is. All right. What am I looking at here? Oh, the raffle. Gotcha.
Yeah.
40 winners, 1 R-Waste per entry. 150,000 entries?
Yeah.
Oh, so you could buy multiples.
Yeah, you could buy as many as you wanted.
Oh, well, shit. That's some good deflationary mechanisms for kaijus there.
No, and like look at the anime. Look at what they did.
Oh, yeah, it looks great.
Like a shoddy button on them. Like I love it. Ugh, man. 3L is just incredible with his art.
I'm gonna have to ask him for some animation pointers.
Woo! Lame.
Working hard on my blob, man.
Yeah, blob. I love the blob. Hey, that ghost kind of reminds me of the blob.
A little bit, yeah. That's what I was thinking of. The way it moves up and down. It's hard. It's tricky to make. I don't even want to say realistic looking animations. Things that look natural, right?
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying, J. Roy. It was 1 R-Waste per ticket, but if you were a holder, that 1 R-Waste would be 2 entries.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm curious to see how many like individuals entered that.
I would like to know too. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I think I did 10 R-Waste, so I had 20. Oh no, I did 20 R-Waste. I had 40 entries into the thing and didn't get it. So.
That's very cool. Love that idea.
Yeah, I loved it.
All right.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I won't be able to mint my next Kaiju baby for 2 extra days now because I earned 10 R waste a day, 75 days between babies, and now it's going to be 77 because I entered.
Well, yeah, I mean, two extra days for a shot at the allow list for Phantom Network seems like a pretty good risk reward.
Yeah, this is going to be a 2 ETH Dutch auction. If it is a cook, we're talking 5, 6, 7. You know, this is going to be a nice trade for anybody. So, yeah.
Exciting stuff. What time we got here? It's 9:40. You want to hit the drum set? GM Degens, and welcome back to the Monday, May 2nd edition of the AlphaMint Morning Show. I can't believe it's May already. We missed the opportunity for some Justin Timberlake memes, but yeah, it is Monday.
I don't even know what that means. Is there
it's going to be May.
Timberlake song?
It's going to be May. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't.
You're just playing coy. Anyway. Anyways, yeah, we had a pretty eventful weekend with the other side. I mean, that is the bulk of the conversation here. Again, lots to unpack. There was the good, the bad, and the ugly surrounding it for sure. And there's some takeaways I think to be had. So we're gonna get into that after a couple brief news articles. But I am your host, R2Dgen, and I'm joined with me every single morning by FMC.
Hey now. I thought you were going to say after a couple brewskis, and then you said brief news articles.
A couple brewskis. You know what? When I'm starting to feel a little bit better, I'll take you up on that. I have no shame about drinking a beer at 9:30 in the morning. The
live cultures in those beer are actually good for your ailment.
Are they? I don't know. They don't make me feel good. Anyways,
now you're thinking about it. Now you're wondering.
Yeah, well, I'm like, it doesn't take a lot to twist my arm, man. So just take it easy. Anyways, on that note, I hope everybody had a great weekend. If you were able to participate in the Otherside Mint, and depending on how you played it and how much gas you ended up paying, you're probably looking all right now. But it has been a tumultuous ride, and we will get into that very, very shortly. I guess first up, we're going to talk about the crypto market. It was a bit of a rough weekend. We didn't really get off the 2,800 mat. We did actually spend some time below 2,800, which is not something you typically want to see, but it did hold. It wasn't dramatic enough to really start that. I think you would call it capitulation. But here we are. Bitcoin is sitting at $38,600. ETH is sitting at 2,800. They're up slightly on the 24-hour. They are down slightly on the 7-day. And we are still just kind of flirting with treacherous waters here. I think the S&P is taking a bit of a beating too. You had some great insight into the pre-show about the markets closing on a low and what that could mean. Hit me.
On Friday, the S&P 500 closed on its low of the day, and it was down quite a bit. That is a bearish indication for Monday usually, and it's one of the scarier things that could happen because now you've sent a bunch of nervous, anxious traders home for the weekend on the lows, fearing what's going to happen on Monday. Often, if what people were expecting doesn't unfold, like we saw this a lot during the height of the Ukraine conflict, where if the bad thing doesn't come to fruition, then on Monday you get tricked and everything's up. But you would much prefer, when you have the type of action you had on Friday, to come into capitulation on Monday, because it really doesn't set the chart up well. And we came in last night, markets were rallying. When futures open at 6 p.m., they were up 0.5%, 1%. I was like, ooh, that's trepidation, because you don't want that type of relief rally after closing at the lows. And let's just bring it all back to crypto, because that is what's driving ETH and Bitcoin right now is the S&P 500, period. If the S&P 500 can find support, crypto will reverse as well. Over the weekend, crypto decoupled a bit. You know, it came in, of course, breaking that 2,800 level to the downside as markets went completely risk off. But over the weekend, as bears really tried to press the issue, they couldn't get any traction. We were slippery under 2,800 a couple times, pushing that 2,700 level, and just couldn't get there. And by Sunday, we had actually started to rally. We had put in a nice rally on ETH. People were feeling bullish. I think the only reason we paused is because people wanted to see what trad markets would do. And right now, they don't know what they want to do. Everything's flat, up 0.25% on the Nas, down 0.25% on the S&P. Everybody's a little confused right now. We're going to see which way people decide to go. I'll tell you, if it just sits around here and doesn't do anything, the likely next move would be up. Again, there's some work to do to repair that chart after last week's action. But it's so far today, we didn't have the capitulation, which I would have favored. But we didn't come in up a lot either. Had we come in up the way we were when we opened last night, I would have been more worried. So, just watch traditional markets, but also 2,800 on ETH, which we're $15 above right now. So,
yeah, we're holding on right now, and we'll see what's to come this week. But again, I mean, I think the longer that we can kind of stay in this range, the more bullish it is for NFTs. Again, I always love seeing it above that $3,200 mark, though. That seems like at least safe territory for the time being. But yeah, it'll all shake out. I'm sure soon enough we'll have the answer.
The more time we spend under 3,000, the more likely 1,800 is on ETH. So we do need to get back above resistance here at some point.
Okay, what kind of time frame are you looking at when you say the more time we spend under 3,000? Are you talking about a week I guess you kind of answered that, the more time.
Yeah, and that's it. Right now the chart is leaning bearish, and it keeps trying to push one way or the other. And while the edge favors the bears, you just have to figure that next move is going to be down. We would like capitulation. But we're getting to a point where both sides need to show up at some point, or the move, the longer you wind the spring up, the more violent the move is going to be. And that's all.
Perfect. Well, speaking of prices, Warren Buffett went out and said he wouldn't pay $25 for every Bitcoin. The 91-year-old billionaire doesn't see crypto as a productive asset, adding that he wouldn't buy all the Bitcoin in the world, even for $25. Warren, I'm calling bullshit on you there. But it is a strong statement, obviously. Elon Musk, never missing an opportunity to troll somebody, just basically laughed at him and said, ha, he said Bitcoin a lot. But yeah, this caused a lot of stir, and it's always, I always find it bullish when, a 91-year-old billionaire is saying that they don't like the Bitcoin or the crypto. But, I think that this is a bit of a shit take from Warren. But Charlie Munger also has been recently going off on crypto lately. And their underlying thesis is that it doesn't exist. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't mean anything. You could definitely apply that argument more to Bitcoin than Ethereum. But, what do you feel when you see, the most prolific investor of the, modern era saying shit like this?
He could be right. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't do anything. I'm not sure what value is being ascribed to it. So if you don't know why we're getting Warren Buffett quotes this weekend, it's because Berkshire Hathaway held their annual report, their shareholders meeting, which, if you are in markets and you are a student of markets, is really educational and good to watch every year. Every person has their blind spots and biases. And
sure,
Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are the greatest investors of all time. There is little doubt amongst the people that would know that these guys are the greatest to have ever done it. I respect how they think. They missed crypto. They don't understand crypto. Also, Warren Buffett was notoriously tech averse. In fact, it was very big news
Apple,
when he bought IBM. And
Yeah.
No, that was the first tech company Warren Buffett ever decided to foray into, and he pooched it. I mean, IBM sucked after he bought it. And it's funny because that would be the tech company that he would start with, but eventually he did buy Apple. It was a very, very good trade for him. It was funny because we had always wondered why he didn't get into Apple sooner, given how, at least on the tech side of the market, we kind of saw what was happening, what was being built there. His response always was, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. So this is just a blind spot for them. But these guys understand how markets work. So I still think there's a lot of value in listening to something like their annual shareholders meeting. But, they're past their prime. They're older.
Well, you know what? You're right about that, though, too, because, conviction investing is important, and they've obviously made an incredible wealth off of that. But I even can take it back to someone like Shaq, who literally had the opportunity to be in on the very ground floor of Starbucks, and turned it down because he just said, like, I don't drink coffee. I don't get this. I don't know what I'm putting my money into. Like, this isn't a product that I would use. And he opted out. Now, obviously, in hindsight, that probably stings a little bit. But again, I think it's a pretty reasonable thing when you say, they just didn't get crypto or they just weren't in tech. They're the old guard, right? It is what it is. Charlie Munger is the one that I think has the really shit takes on top of this, basically saying it's stupid because it's still likely to go to zero. I think that is not. I don't think that that's something good to say. I mean, obviously he's doubling down on his opinion, but I do think that there's a danger for people that blindly kind of follow these guys' playbooks to potentially be missing out on opportunity, because I don't think that there's any chance that this stuff goes to zero unless there's, a global cataclysmic event and everything, the electricity goes down or we're back in the Stone Ages or whatever. But it's evil because it undermines the Federal Reserve System.
And
whatever. Those are stupidly strong words.
And decoy, correlation is not causation. Your premise is faulty. Pixelmon didn't crash our market. Seasonality crashed our market. We had just gone through the greatest bull run NFTs had ever seen in late December, early January, and even into February, right?
Yeah.
But and we were clashing up against traditional bearish seasonality. NFTs always die at that time of the year. It's just nobody knew that because nobody's been in this market for more than a year. But NFTs die at that time every year. It was seasonality. And the reason NFTs aren't dying right now is because Moonbirds and Yuga have brought hundreds of millions of dollars now into this market, okay? It more than compensates for the ETH that was burned, okay, and the money that has gone into Yuga land. Right now, you have a bunch of people who paid $300 for an ape, selling land and codas for 54 ETH and turning around and buying doodles, Clonexes, and Azukis. And the people who sold those doodles, Clonexes, and Azukis are going to turn around and buy all the collections underneath them. And that's going to keep happening. Okay, so these last two events, Moonbirds and Yuga, could not have been more bullish for NFTs at large. Now, if you look in a vacuum at the Yuga event, I had been talking all weekend about how this felt more like an end than a beginning. This was exit liquidity for apes, and you're seeing it right now. So many new wallets and so many hedge funds are buying Yuga land. This is a gold rush. They genuinely believe this is like buying real estate in New York City in the 1800s. Okay, that is what they are positioning this as. All that new money coming into the market far outweighs anything that was burned or anything that was lost by whiny NFT traders who sold all their shit at a discount to rush into overpriced land. I was bearish on the land from the beginning. It was a very, very terrible drop the way they set it up. But you cannot deny what Yuga is doing, and that is bringing a ton of new money into this market, and that is why we are not down.
I would definitely say, yeah, there's some expectation versus reality there. And if you want to like rewind to Pixelmon as well, like that was a very hyped drop within the NFT community that went very poorly in the end, right? But there wasn't a lot of people from the outside looking in being like, oh, Pixelmon is where I got to stake my claim in the NFTs. Like, this is my opportunity. Now, there might have been some people on Instagram or some people told their friends to be like, if you're going to get an NFTs, Pixelmon is the time. But I'm talking by and large excitement, from big investors. Moonbirds had that, and Yuga had that. Yuga and Proof Collective, Kevin Rose, have access connections to just some of the biggest players and VCs and investors outside of NFTs. And they're betting on the track record of Kevin Rose, and they're betting on the track record of Yuga, and they're more than happy to take their money, infuse it into NFTs, and buy those assets now with the chance of getting in on one of their products early. Pixelmon definitely didn't have that, and then Pixelmon was just an absolute shit show because, as we all remember, the product actually just sucked. It didn't exist. Whatever they showed wasn't even close to the final result, and it was essentially a soft rug, I think, and maybe even just a hard rug. That combined with, as FMC, we were just running into bearish seasonality. I think that Pixelmon was maybe just like that tipping point one way or another. Maybe it would have kept some life into the NFT market for a bit longer if it had been wildly successful, but it wasn't, and that's the thing. But I just think that while we're talking about the same types of dollar amounts, the 3 ETH Dutch auction for Pixelmon, the 2.5 ETH and Ape that you had to use for the Otherside land, or the 2.5 ETH that you had to buy from Moonbirds, completely different dynamics involved in who's purchasing it and the expectations around it. On that note, but great question and great point. It was it feels very similar to each other. We talk a lot about gamers hating NFTs. This one was interesting. Minecraft developers petition against gaming NFTs gets just 72 signatures in a week. The muted response might suggest gamer backlash to NFTs is waning. I'm going to provide a little bit of context to this article because it is a little bit skewed. When it says Minecraft developers, it is not talking about the company Mojang. It is talking about a couple of employees within the development team petitioning against it. And it is also a petition for gaming companies that are entering the NFT space to do so responsibly. So if you dig a little bit deeper, I'm actually not like overly upset with some of the things that we're saying. I'm going to pull them up and we're going to read them together. I'll get your take on it, FMC. And of course, anybody in the chat can weigh in on it too. But the fact that there is so much hate in gaming NFTs and this thing didn't go viral, it only got 72 signatures in a week, is pretty good. I do think that we are slowly getting there as the use cases, we've said time and time again, the use cases for gamers and NFTs are a match made in heaven. This is the kind of petition site that they had. They just had a couple of criteria here. So they basically went on to say, we are asking game studios and publishers to sign the following pledge to ensure any implementation of digital ownership in the form of NFTs or otherwise brings meaningful value to the players. Totally think that's important. Does not make use of technology that is intentionally inefficient, resulting in concrete, significant environmental impact. I think that ETH will fall that category very soon. But we often dismiss it, but it is a very real narrative out there. Does not embrace artificial scarcity to generate speculative value, et cetera, et cetera. Does not rely on unregulated volatile cryptocurrency. I don't know what this means because cryptocurrency by and large is actually regulated now. Does not disproportionately benefit early adopters and wealthier users, players. This is, I think, an important distinction as well. It's always great to be in early and be rewarded. I think disproportionately is a good word here. As I'm saying all of this, what is coming to your mind when we're talking about it? Do you think that like some kind of idea or pledge or something like this is important for like these companies taking a step into the ecosystem, even if it just helps get people comfortable with the idea of NFTs?
No, I think this is the last gasp of a dying paradigm.
Yeah, no, and I actually do agree with you. I just thought it was interesting at how inconsequential the amount of I guess signatures or pledges that this thing got. So
Vinny Gugazza.
Not a whole lot to unpack there, but I did just think it was an
Yeah.
interesting little thing that popped up, and you know, as it wouldn't have been too long ago that something like that would go viral, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh,
I would mint that
200,000.
hard.
You know, that's actually funny you said that. I pulled up this page and I was like, oh, that kind of looks cool. I like it. I wonder if that's an
I'm
NFT.
telling you, well, everyone's jaded right now. You'll see. There's gonna be new concepts, you're gonna be like, oh, I like NFTs. Like, I want to mint that.
Yes, for sure. People still hate NFTs. You're absolutely right. You know what? I do go out of my way sometimes to spend maybe an hour or two on Reddit.
Oh,
And it is as toxic as ever. It is hilarious. But
could you live
there
stream
is
next
some
time you do? Do you ever leave comments?
no. I could.
You're just lurking? Isn't that like illegal in Reddit?
No, not at all. I would say like probably 99% of Reddit is lurk.
Lurkers? Wow.
NGMI. All right, let's go on to the big topic, because this is going to be the bulk of the conversation. Obviously, the other side, the land drop, everything to do with ApeCoin and Yuga. So on Saturday night at 9 p.m., obviously the other side land drop did go live. It was a gas war of epic proportions, somewhere to the tune of $160 million in gas fees were burned. It is completely contrary to what Yuga said about their Dutch auctions, creating unnecessary FOMO hype and facilitating a gas war. And based on some of their subsequent tweets, it does seem like all of this was planned. That's neither here nor there right now. Right now, we have 95,000 of these things minted out of a possible 100,000. Of course, apes and mutant apes have up to 21 days after the sale to claim theirs, but by and large, most of these have been done. They were selling as high as pre-reveal. This should be as high as 15 ETH. There were two different logos. I think the ones that the apes claimed have more premium kind of status and location, and then the public mint had a different logo. So there was some disparity between those. It has cooled down to a 4.25 ETH floor. I'll give it a refresh because this thing is still going crazy. It's down to 4 ETH. 157,000 ETH in volume traded in just 36 hours. What's that?
I said, that'll do, pig. That'll do. You remember
absolutely astounding. Yeah, I do. I do.
That's incredible. And people paid, I think, what did they pay with gas?
I think on average it was somewhere in the 2 and a half ETH ballpark. I saw people go up as high as 6-7 ETH if they really sent it. But tons of criticism on Twitter surrounding an unoptimized contract and the idea that they knew that this was going to happen, and despite the fact that they said they didn't want it to happen, went through with it. People, yeah, no, I agree. People on all sides of the fence have been weighing in. There are lots of angry Bored Apes. We'll start to break that down, saying, "Oh, they didn't get their fair share. Oh, mine didn't have a coda on it. I'm now a second-class ape citizen." And all
they are. I mean, let's be honest.
It's just I do find it funny that the fact that you've got the Bored Ape Kennel Club. Depending on how long you held it, of course, you got the Bored Ape Kennel Club, you got your mutant ape, you got your ape coin, and you still, got the other side land. The amount of value that Yuga has delivered to the ape holders has been absolutely astounding. But maybe this one missed the mark a little bit. The apes have fallen down to a paltry 125 ETH. The mutants are actually taking a beating. What did we say? 50. Oh, I have it pulled up here. 26 ETH right now. Unreal. Yep, 26. And that is obviously down from about 40. And ApeCoin is probably the biggest loser right now. And this is where I think people were really pissy. You had to buy ApeCoin in order to participate in the mint. There was exorbitant gas fees on top of it. And then if you weren't fortunate enough to be able to mint, you saw your ApeCoin diminish in value by about, I think it was about 35%. I'll pull that up while you're talking. But Saturday night, what are you doing? Where are you? And how are you watching all of this go down?
Oh, with a
bag of popcorn and my feet up on a thing, watching everybody be stressed about it. I knew something was going to go bad when one of my good friends was screaming, I'm about to be a fucking millionaire. I'm about to be I said, oh, no, this isn't good. The thought that this was going to be the next Moonbird seemed foreign to me, not even because of anything Yuga has done, but just because of how market dynamics set up for these things, right? Like, unless you were in a high-end alpha room, you really didn't understand Moonbirds. And I swear, like, everybody in AlphaMint, everyone in MVH goes like, oh, yep, full send. You got to get these, like, blah, 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 blah. When I would talk to people who aren't necessarily in the alpha chats, they didn't understand 2.5 ETH. That's fucking ridiculous. Who would charge 2 point? That's all you.
Sure, yeah, 100%.
People didn't understand it or know what it was. I had people who I consider relatively sophisticated in NFTs. Like, what kind of Ponzi is this? This is where I'm like, I didn't understand how they didn't see it. But when you think about it, the reason Moonbirds could do what they do is because those people didn't see it. Those were the people that FOMO'd in for you. Even influencers were ignoring Moonbirds until they got above 12 ETH. Then all of a sudden, everyone saw this, the fever pitch started, and they FOMO'd up to 40, right? That was never going to happen with Yuga Land. People saw this coming from a mile away. Everybody, guaranteed 10x, definitely going to be a cook. This is the next move. Sell anything you can to get this land and blah, blah, blah. Now, anybody who hit a coda is feeling pretty fucking good, but that's the lottery ticket you play all the time, right? What did you have, a 1 in 10 chance, I guess?
Yeah, 10,000 out of 100,000.
All right. So you had a 1 in 10 chance of getting your coda. Obviously, these things are extremely valuable, but if you were only buying 1 or 2, and you got a common, it's not quite the cook you were looking for. So,
yeah, this one that I have pulled up, the highest sale, this coda going for 217 ETH. Pretty ridiculous amounts of money.
I'm actually good friends with a few apes, and I know 3 who hit codas. So, shout out Sulola and shout out everybody else who hit those codas. But
okay, so just a quick question for you. With the apes and stuff like that, like, they notoriously don't sell anything,
right?
Are they selling that? You hit a coda, like, are they just like instantly smashing the sell button? Like, yeah, I finally got mine.
I know I've listed it. The only apes I know that listed it have like 40 apes. So, they're just right. They sold a few of them because they have an exorbitant amount or whatever. But no, what is interesting to me is that nobody knows what they do. Nobody understands what they are, but all the apes are like, no, you gotta have this. Like, I don't know what it is, but you need to fucking have. Like, they're all like, yeah, you gotta pay up like 30 ETH for these. You gotta have these. So, very, very big congratulations to anybody who hit a coda. I am disgusted with Yuga Labs, their behavior, their strategy, whatever the fuck they did here. I'm
trying to pull up this tweet that really kind of set you off too.
Yeah, because I'll tell you who really was the winner this weekend, and that was Dutch auctions. I fucking loved it. All I want going forward are Dutch auctions. If you have the motherfucking demand to justify a Dutch auction, it's the fairest way to do anything. Period. It is a smart, fair way to do something. All right? And with a project like this, you probably started a lot higher than 2.5 ETH. This way, you kind of avoid that initial gas war. Because if you start at 2.5, everyone's just full sending there. You need to start it a little uncomfortably high to see who's going to go for it. That's what you do with a Dutch auction. They played this whole, we're of the people. We're of the fucking community. We don't like
Dutch auctions are bullshit, as they said, right?
And then they do this, okay? They purposely self-own, self-goal. Oh my God, we broke Ethereum. How could this have happened? We never could have planned for it. Who knew? We need to do our own L1. Fuck you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
The account doesn't stop fucking tweeting. They need to shut up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They buried it pretty.
Now be quiet.
What's that?
I said you got your money. Now be quiet. Stop tweeting.
Did they delete the tweet?
That would actually be a very bullish side. If you guys don't know, they basically said that.
Yeah, please explain it while I find it.
L1 is, ETH cannot handle the type of demand that we are anticipating in the future.
Can I read it?
To build our own fucking chain.
Yeah, so basically they said, we wanted to say a few words about the mint tonight. We know that the Other Deed mint was unprecedented in its size as a high-demand NFT collection, and that would bring with it unique challenges. The hope was that the challenges would be assuaged via a rigorous gating mechanism in the form of an on-chain KYC, a max mint of 2 per KYC wallet, and a significant clearing price at 305 ApeCoin. This has been the largest NFT mint in history by several multiples, and yet the gas used during the mint shows that the demand far exceeded anyone's wildest expectations. That's bullshit. The scale of this mint was so large that Etherscan crashed. We're sorry for turning off the lights on Ethereum for a while. It seems abundantly clear that ApeCoin will need to migrate to its own chain in order to properly scale. We'd like to encourage the DAO to start thinking in this direction. We are aware that some of the users had failed transactions due to the incredible demand being forced through Ethereum's bottleneck. For those of you affected, we appreciate your willingness to build alongside us. Know that we've got your back and we'll be refunding gas. All right. A couple things obviously stand out there to me. The demand far exceeded anyone's wild expectations. You know that this is the biggest mint of the year ever, the most hyped. 55,000 of these you're dropping to the public. 100,000 of them are hitting. You've priced accordingly. You probably could have gone even higher, but it doesn't really matter. 305 ApeCoin, especially with how high it got, was really not cheap at all. Largest NFT mint in history by several multiples. True. I hate that they say, due to the incredible demand being forced through Ethereum's bottleneck. Does Ethereum have some scaling things that it is working on? Yeah, absolutely. Is there a bottleneck there? Yeah, a bit. But they created that incredible demand, and they knew the technical kind of capabilities of ETH and what would happen when you are trying to get 55,000 mints in a short period of time. This should not have I'm going to say this should not have been surprising to them. I can guarantee you it wasn't surprising to them, but they're acting like it wasn't. Oh, this is Ethereum's fault. Oh, we're going to do our own chain. They fucking knew. And apparently, if I recall correctly, yeah, this whole tweet was put out, a mere 2 hours after the mint went live. All of this was planned. And this was all to promote the fact that apes are going to get their own chain, which I don't think is necessary. And I would like to encourage the DAO to not think in that direction. But yeah, we often talk about missteps by Yuga and, if and when they're going to make one. Is this it? Is it going to have any effect on them? I don't know. What are you feeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't even think it's gonna pass. I think even apes kind of raise their eyebrow at this. A lot of them. They're part of a cult. They tend to do what the cult leader says, but this is fucking ridiculous on a lot of levels. We paid $100 million in gas fees for a commercial for Yuga. That's what this was. This was a fucking commercial for them. Mm-hmm. And
if they create their own chain, where do you think those gas fees are going? Because there's still going to be gas fees. This is how blockchain works, right?
Yeah, they would be earning all the gas fees. They would own everything and earn all the gas fees because now they're making you pay for everything. They're gonna have all the ape coin. I don't know what's going on here. I hope they have a very good plan. I mean, they are extremely roadmap dependent. And they need to execute very well on all the items on this. They better never fucking make a game. I will say this right now. I would not even attempt to make a game at this point.
Well, I think that's a foregone conclusion that is coming.
Get the fucking apes into the hands of celebrities. Get Obama. Get LeBron, whoever the biggest people in the world are who need these JPEGs. Get them JPEGs. That's your job.
So the other thing that kind of popped into my head while we were talking about this, and I literally just kind of came to my mind because we were talking about raffles earlier, lotteries earlier, and then obviously the way that this went down. How would you feel? And I'm literally just like thinking about this right now. If it was basically a pure lottery system, so the mint itself was free, but you had to pay, maybe in this instance, 0.1, or like, let's say 50 or 20 ape per lottery ticket. Does that favor whales too much that are willing to throw way too much at it? Does that give everybody a pretty fair chance? Because at the end of the day, there's 100,000 of these, and you only need one to be able to get into it. And maybe there's a couple people out there that have a good shot at a lottery, saying, I'm gonna just get 2 entries, burn 40 ape, or not burn, but pay 40 ape for 2 tickets. And if I hit, I hit. If not, I'm not crazy underwater. Like how do you think that would work? Because I would imagine that they would still end up earning or bringing in the same amount.
I don't know. It all sounds very complicated to me. Just sell me the fucking JPEG. This is not rocket science. Dutch auctions. Come on. That's why they exist. Start the Dutch auction at 10 ETH. There wouldn't have been a gas war.
You think they sell it at 10 ETH?
Idiots would have paid 7 or 8. Everybody else would have started paying low. There would have been high gas for like 20 minutes and it would have been over. Just like fucking mutants. It wouldn't have been this weird ass, long, drawn out commercial for Yuga Labs to pitch you some VC backed L1.
JRP asking, guys, how does this affect the other project on board? Literally on board on the Bored Ape flying car. Oh,
none of those. I don't think any of those projects.
Yeah, there's the trailer.
Even knew. I don't even think any of them even knew Yuga was gonna fucking do that. Yuga is the mafia, okay? Yuga. I would have been scared if Yuga put my collection in that fucking video. That means they're coming for me, okay? There's like get down or lay down. Is that that's what fucking Yuga's message was? I don't think it's good for any of these collections.
Yeah, they show up to sell you an insurance. It'd be like, it would be a shame if something were to happen to your NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a shame if your metaverse fucking fit. I mean, they literally, you know what they said to Kongs? We're hiring Anna Mocha. That's what they said. They said, oh, Sandbox is cute. Guess what? We're going to hire Anna Mocha to make our metaverse. Kongs were like, oh. Well.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Chase's message here saying, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? Still number 2, my friend. Still number 2.
I don't get it. What does that mean?
It's become like a little bit of a meme on like sports Twitter or Instagram or something like that, where it's just like anything completely unrelated to LeBron. It's just, it gets regurgitated so much because people talk about it that like it becomes a joke. Like, what? But how does this affect LeBron's legacy? It would be like, Steph Curry breaks the 3-point record. Like, well, how does it affect LeBron's legacy? Or just like totally really unrelated.
The first 5 doodles on the floor aren't hideous. That's rare. The Doodles collection's a funny one. There's some funny combos that came out of that generator there. Usually those are the ones that hang out on the foot. Those aren't unappealing. Things become less unappealing above 20 ETH. They're going to look great at 50 ETH.
I was just going to say, we're going to bring it back to Decoy's initial question there about, the difference between the Ape and the Moonbirds drop and, Pixelmon. The thing is, there are a lot of people that maybe were playing with 5 ETH that got a Moonbird, and they're getting fucking paid now. Same with Bored Apes. A lot of people that probably overextended themselves to get into this drop because, let's face it, 5 ETH, 6 ETH, 7 ETH, it's a lot of money. But they ding a coda, and all of a sudden someone's buying it from them for 150 ETH. What are you doing? Well, let's parlay this into Doodles. Let's parlay this into Azuki. Let's parlay this into, I want to say Cool Cats, but it's still sitting below 6 ETH floor. But Doodles has been absolutely ripping, almost 23 ETH floor now. And that will continue to flow down through the NFT market as well. So, pardon me, I'm choking on my coffee, I guess.
Pardon the interruption.
How do I mute?
Oh, he's dying on the air. You can press the M button.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. You learn something new every day.
Now try the V button.
Well, oh, what is that? Bah!
Okay, isn't that fun?
You did some research. You did some restream research. I like it.
When you move your mouse over the button, it says it. It says mute, press M.
Ah.
Research.
What's this?
When I have a good investment thesis, I run as far away from research as possible. This idea is too good to learn more about. Please tell me less. Tell me less.
For sure.
Phantom. I don't even know what. I am full sending a 2 ETH Dutch auction. Couldn't even fucking tell you what it is. I don't want to know. I really don't. If I
You're just clicking the button like la 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 la.
No. Yeah. I don't fucking know what Phantom is. I know it's gonna go up a lot. I don't want to know what it is. Don't go telling me in the comments. I don't need that in my life.
Well, I guess we could finish up the show on some Raid Party. That was we obviously had a lot of Raid Party content when Raid Party was a party. It's been struggling, but it seems to be maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel for them. What do they got going on? They announced some new leaderboard rewards that are pretty hefty, actually. It's kind of moving the needle there.
There were two things that slowed down Raid Party, and that was what is known as the +1 meta. In other words, it's very positive EV to get to +1 enhancement. After that, it reduces dramatically, and your risk becomes greater. So theoretically, there's no reason to really enhance past +1. And that was causing people to, instead of play the game, set up new teams. That causes confetti to just keep stacking. That's number one. Okay. And the other thing is play and own in general has been in a bear market. You can't look at any play and own game and say that it isn't down 50, 60, some as much as 80%. So the combination of this has caused quite the bear market. They announced a redesigned leaderboard. This leaderboard now incentivizes people to play. There is over $1 million in prizes at the end of season 1. Season 1 will be 8 weeks long. And instead of making the leaderboard based on where you are, it's based on how much you progress. So a new player could come into the game tomorrow and go from 2,000 to 600th and get more favor that week than somebody who went from 30th to 20th because they had more delta. Okay. If we were just going to break this down into trading terms, the leaderboard has gone to delta. It is delta that is important. In other words, the movement of your team, trying to increase damage on a weekly basis, is what is going to determine where you are on that leaderboard. And at the end of the season, they will disperse ETH awards. They're also dispersing fighter awards every week for people who are on the leaderboard. And this has caused a bounce both in confetti price and sentiment within that Discord. Also, they have hired a new community manager, so shout out to all. Very well known and really good at what he does. And now I expect the communication from the team to be a lot smoother. Features like guilds and items and foraging are what is up next. These will be very large confetti sinks. We also have a confetti marketplace that is being developed by the community that is going to be stocked by Raid Party. So Raid Party may go and buy an Azuki from their treasury or go buy a doodle, and you'll be able to buy raffle tickets with your confetti for that NFT.
and
Love
there
it.
will be allow lists, and there will be all sorts of things in that marketplace that you could burn confetti for. So all of these things have caused a 125% bounce in confetti, which isn't a lot because it was 50 cents to $1.25, which would have been terrible a few weeks ago. But now, as people have advanced in the game, you would expect the token to be trending down over time and hopefully find stability. So I'm expecting it to find stability between $3 and $5 over the next few weeks. We have a lot of overhead supply to work off. So that is really what we have to contend with now. And it's going to be about demand for the underlying assets. Like I've always said, heroes are the play. And right now, if the economic ratio held, heroes should be about 1.5 ETH relative to fighters being at about 0.06, right? Or 1.2 ETH relative to fighters being at about 0.06. Heroes are about half an ETH right now. So
yeah, they're slowly reaching parity. They're about 11x right now.
Yeah, I was pounding the table at they got down to 0.17.
Mm-hmm. And
I was saying, man, heroes are the play. And specifically, good morning, Aisha. Specifically because the foraging that's coming up, you'll be able to do with just a hero. So all those heroes that people consider useless on the floor because it's like a 12-4 or a 13-4, whatever its stats are, they're going to be useful for foraging. And as people progress in the game, like right now, I'm at the point I have to burn heroes to progress. So if you don't have heroes, you know, there's going to be a supply crisis very soon in heroes. The only people minting heroes right now are Pranksy and Peter, and I don't even think they mint that. There's no point in minting because you could actually sweep them off the floor often cheaper than the parity. I mean, again, based on the economy, these should be 1.2 right now. This is a blind spot because people are bearish on playing in general.
Let me just ask this though: the higher valued heroes, like the 6/17s, you know, the 6 slots in the 17 or 1.7 damage multiplier or whatever, they command quite a premium, right?
Quite. I mean,
so but what I'm saying is there's got to be a discount in the parity to match that, right?
Yeah, yes, but the thing is, they are going to that the bottom ones will be at parity, though the other ones will be at a much higher ratio. I mean, you're going to expect the 17 6s, the 17 5s, and the 18 6s to all be selling at 2 or 3 times the floor. So when the floor is 1.2, I expect those to be 2.4 to 5 each.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, because there's got to be some risk, right? And I'm not saying that it won't hit that parity mark. I'm just wondering if it's like maybe slightly discounted, like 18 is actually parity or something. 18 times.
Well,
your thesis is absolutely correct, though. Like I wholeheartedly agree with it.
15 times would be the actual parity because that's what a gen hero. So you would look at about 15 times to be the parity. So what would we say? Maybe heroes should be about 0.9 right now, 0.9 to 1 ETH. If you were to say 15 times the floor, fighters were at 0.06. I think they slightly dipped again to
0.04 right now.
Yep.
There's been a lot of them burned though. Holy, there's 17,000 fighters on the market.
Well,
I just minted 39,000 basically.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys right now, and again, this is for people.
Wow, only less than 300 listed too. There's yeah.
And it's only for people who are playing and interested in this, but this is, you want to start, if you are going to compete on this leaderboard. And again, if you compete on the leaderboard properly, here's how it should work out. Like, let's say you get 10th place. By best estimates, you'll get about 8 ETH, okay, as your prize at the end of the season. That would be about an ETH a week that they're giving you. Ideally, and the way markets work, if they are efficient, is that's how much it would cost you to enhance. So you're essentially break even. You are able to enhance for free and acquire assets without having to pay. So in
That
other,
almost sounds like play and own.
yeah, exactly. This is why. No, but bro, this is why I really think Raid
No, I get it.
is going to set themselves apart. This is a brilliant mechanism that Wick and Zach and the team over there have come up with, and I can already tell you. I mean, I've been in that Discord all weekend planning strategy. Like right now, Peter, Pranksy, and Unsung are all basically conspiring because it gets a little complicated, but there's actually an advantage to switching who is in first place. Like there is a 2x multiplier on the week if you go into first place that week. So in other words, if Pranksy and Peter just switched, like if they colluded with each other and decided to switch every week, at the end of the season, they would have more tickets than if one of them just tried to maintain first place. Because if you just stay in first place, you don't get that 2x multiplier every week. If you if you knock somebody out of first place, you get a 2x multiplier on your tickets. Okay?
I don't like that.
You're like, I heard collude. I'm Canadian. I don't know what's going on here. I don't like it. Whatever it is. I heard the word collude.
All I heard was two very wealthy people can collude to get even wealthier. I have no problems against people being wealthy, believe me.
No, but think about it. They're not colluding against us. They're in fact,
I know. I get it.
It's beneficial to us because the whole point of this leaderboard is to encourage people to play. Remember, Pranksy says it all the time. He doesn't give a shit about making money on these games. I know that sounds crazy.
He's post-economic.
The man is sitting on 200,000 ETH. He could give 3 shits if he loses 1,000 on some game. All right? This is, for him, these are literal fun. If it's not fun for him, he just abandons the bag and leaves. He doesn't give a fuck. It's all. But when it's competitive, when he's having, that's what Peter said. Peter's like, my only issue right now is that Pranksy is an insane person, and Peter's actually trying to make a profit. Like, but he's not trying like to profit, but he's not trying to lose money. You know what I mean? This is he wants.
It's not throwaway to him.
Yeah. He at the very least wants to bring. Pranksy will go balls to the wall to be number one on that spot. So I don't even know if the collusion plan could work. But again, this is all good for us. We want these guys burning their confetti, but minting fighters, this is what we want, and I think it's a brilliant system they came up. I'm very bullish on Raid Party. They have a very good angle here for play and own that no one else has touched yet.
You got it. Love it. Nice little wind down conversation there. All right. Well, we have a meeting, I think, shortly, Star Wolves related. And so we got to wrap this show up for those the wolves out there. It is, of course, Moon Monday. You will be able to catch Free Market and I on a Twitter Spaces later this afternoon to break it down. Probably do.
Ooh, they're buying everything, R2.
What's that?
Everything not nailed down. NFTs, S&P 500, ETH.
Are we back?
100. We're back.
We're back? Ripping live? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Cool.
We're back. Hold on to your tits, everybody. Or the person sitting next to you if they allow. Get consent first.
All right. On that note, if you want to join us later for Twitter Spaces about Star Wolves, we'd love to see you there. I think we got a pretty big announcement going on today, so just keep an eye out for that, or at least an exciting announcement, however you guys want to take it. What's Sanchez? What? I'm not sure what. I'm not sure. Okay. On that note, if you tuned in late today, obviously we did a big breakdown of the crypto and the stock market. Having some tough times, but if we hold for a while, we might be bullish, might be bearish, remains to be seen. We talked a little bit about Warren Buffett not paying $25 for all of the Bitcoin in the world. Talked a little bit about the petition against gaming NFTs not getting any traction, very bullish there. And then, of course, other side, ApeCoin, Codas, all of that great stuff. The fireworks that happened over the weekend, free market did a great job of breaking it down and called Yuga out on their bullshit. Some other projects getting a rip, maybe because of the influx of liquidity. Doodles, Azuki doing very well. Cool Cats not getting the same pump, but I would imagine seeing them there soon. And we just jammed out at the end there, a little bit of raid party. And here we are. So on that note, I appreciate everyone tuning in on this fine Monday morning. Always good to be up here on stage with you, free market. Always good to see the D-Gens in the crowd. We love you all. Free market, get us out of here.
Well, good luck at the tables, monkeys.